In this video, I want to share with you a very short TikTok video and also why this TikTok video motivated me to share with you about a book I'm currently reading, seemingly completely unrelated to the TikTok videos. This one by Brad S. Gregory called The Unintended Reformation, How a Religious Revolution Secularized Society.
Can a God exist in space-time? Well, according to all my friends who are deeply religious, yes. And that would be, the trouble with it is, it's hard to provide evidence for that. It's hard to provide evidence for a God that you can't see or detect. And then to draw conclusions about what that God, he or she did, based on phenomena that people on my side of it can explain without this supernatural influence. Is there a God or not that exists in space-time? But what I always ask myself and others is, what would you do differently? How would it change the way you live your life if you knew that there was no God, or if you knew that there was? What would you do differently? Would you start committing crimes? Would you stop committing crimes? Would you quit your regular job and help people everywhere as hard as you could, living a very modest life? Or would you try to accumulate as much wealth as possible without regard to others? Like, what would you do differently? For me, I wouldn't do anything differently. I just try to lead a good life, be responsible for my own actions, and leave the world better than I found it. Those are my goals.
So I hope you enjoyed that. I'm not going to comment on everything he says, this guy, Bill Nye. Well, in this book by Professor Sam Gregory, on page 36, he briefly mentions the traditional understanding of God in Christianity. And this applies to Islam as well and Judaism. God conceived as utterly transcendent of the universe. He's behind, beyond, totally transcendent of the universe. He's not in the universe. He's not a being within space-time at all. He creates space-time by his pure will. He's not in any way dependent on anything external to himself. He is totally one, totally transcendent and eternal. And he brings the universe, this contingent reality, into being. So he's not within the universe at all. He's not within our space-time as Bill Nye thinks that Christians claim. I presume he means Christians. So why do his fellow religious people, why does he think that this is an acceptable view, that God exists in space-time? Well, there's a reason for this. So what I'm going to read to you now is pretty academic. I think it's very profound, and I just want to share it with you because I think it's so juicy, so important in terms of our understanding of the Western tradition, metaphysics, and what went wrong. And this is coming from a writer, Gregory, who's actually a Catholic himself. He's not a Muslim, he's a Catholic academic.